Hey guys, in our second installment for how to not get your mobile home sold, we are going to go over the importance of making it as easy as possible to have a buyer actually buy your home. In last week's episode, if you watched it, we discussed the importance of following through with what you say you will do when looking to sell your mobile home. Mainly, if the seller says they will fix something and communicates that directly with the buyer, then the seller should honor their word and follow through with what they said they will repair. If this is not done, then a large trust gap begins to be created on how well the buyer believes in the seller when moving forward with their transaction. So today we want to drive home the basic idea that buyers do not need to buy, but sellers, they usually do need to sell their mobile home. Now, this makes sense, right? I mean, if the seller did not need to sell their home to some degree, then why in the heck would they be going forward with putting the work in to get their home ready for sale in the very first place? What we have seen as recently as just last week is a seller who made it incredibly difficult for the buyer to buy their home. Allow me to give you a very basic history of this story, as I feel this will best illustrate the issues that we encountered during the sales process and how you can avoid them. So here we go. The seller contacted us as they needed to sell their home quickly due to moving out of state to take care of a sick family member. We showed them what like homes were selling for in their area and how we felt we could best position their home for a fast sale using our marketing methods. The seller agreed to go with our pricing suggestion and decided to move forward. About 3 weeks later, we wound up finding a park-approved motivated buyer who negotiated the price of the home with the seller and went forward with their decision by putting a down payment on the home. This all seems like it is going in the right direction, doesn't it? Wait, here is where things get goofy very, very fast. At this point, the seller, who is selling the home fully furnished and stressed to us in turn, we show the buyer that they had clear title on hand and needed to sell their home ASAP, wound up making it difficult for the buyer to continue moving forward buying their mobile home. The seller decided they wanted to hand pick their favorite furniture pieces from the home after the home was sold, including the washer and dryer and all the televisions in the property. After I stressed to the seller that this was not what was agreed upon, they told me that they did not care and that the buyer was already getting a great deal. I communicated this with the buyer and they reluctantly agreed to continue moving forward with the buying process. We then sent out the purchase agreement for the seller to sign, only for them to decide they wanted to change around the entire agreement, which in turn stalled the contract process out over a week. I think it was about 10 days. During this time, the seller told me that they could not find their title and would not pay for a duplicate title. We stressed the seller at that point that we can't sell a home without a title, for which they said they would start the process next month. I communicated this to the buyer and they said that would not work for them. That they needed to take possession of the home ASAP, as they thought that was the process here and that what everybody wanted to do. I spoke to the seller about this concern and they further stressed that the buyer was still getting a great deal. So, can you guess what happened here? Yeah, you figured it right. The buyer walked and the seller, they still have their home for sale, assuming everybody's getting a great deal. If you really do not want to sell your mobile home, then make it as difficult as possible for the buyer to buy. However, if you do this, guys, please contact another sales team, as we at the Mobile Home Dealer do sell homes fast. This is Mark Heiser with the Mobile Home Dealer, and we help mobile home buyers and sellers get to a better place in life.